Today, by special request, I'm going to cover contamination in your window tint and how to deal with it and how to prevent it. This is a new generation Jeep Grand Cherokee. I believe it's a 2024. I bottom load, so I pop these panels off. There is a wire holding this up that I put there just because I knew this was going to take a little bit longer than I normally take. If you are going to drop your panels like this, you can get little clips that stick in here. I don't like them. I find them to get in the way. Just make sure you don't have any wires hanging because it's just going to strain your wires. You don't want to do that. Anyway, onto the tint. With a window like this is a Chrysler product. So this particular one does have fuzzy seals. It also has a lot of dirt on this edge. It's got dirt on this edge. This vehicle drives a lot of gravel. Biggest thing with contamination in your window tint is all of the steps you need to do before you even apply the window tint. In this case, this top edge is dirty. Around it is dirty. So I just have rinseless wash in this, which I use because it doesn't leave anything on the surface. The goal here is not to get your seals wet, which I'll explain why later. Mostly I just want to clean all of this dirt off because we're going to stick some tape on here. Especially as beginners, your speed is going to be a little bit slower. So you're going to want to make sure you clean this as good as you can anywhere that film is going to touch. So if you find yourself bumping into this, whatever, make sure you clean those areas off because your film is likely to touch it. And if there's dirt there, you're going to pick it up instantly. So I'm just going to continue wiping these off the plastics. If you really want to be safe, I mean, you can wipe this top seal. There's a bunch of dirt on this one. Just a little bit of extra, just this back edge. And then just this bottom edge here. So we have most of this cleaned up to the point where I would be satisfied with it. It's not too dirty. Now we're going to move on to the next step. I'm just going to turn this on so I can roll the windows down. All right, so I have the windows down. There's a fuzzy seal here, goes all the way around the window. Now, some of the Chrysler products don't. The Ram 1500, they do not have it. They just have a rubber seal. Any vehicle you're working on that just has a rubber seal, all you really need to do is grab yourself a trim tool. Don't use a screwdriver for this, it can cut. And you'll just spray your microfiber cloth and you'll just jam it in the seal and clean your seals out really good. And just make sure they're nice and clean. Because these are fuzzy, you need to go about this a little differently. If you have a little torch similar to, I don't know, like a little cigar torch like we use in PPF just to get your corners, you can very lightly just quickly go along and just give it a quick burn. That'll catch any hairs. If you're not confident in that, you don't have to do it. But instead, we use tape. Now, the reason you want to do this is because these seals hold dirt. And as soon as water hits it, if any water comes back out, it pushes dirt into your film. So by taking your tape, and we're just going to tape this off. Now, depending on how dirty this is, you don't always have to do this top edge. As a beginner, I'm still gonna recommend it because as you can see, there's just some dirt, a little bit of hair, and it's just gonna take you longer. Now, whether you bottom load or you two-stage it, doesn't matter. If it has fuzzy seals, you're gonna wanna tape them off no matter which method of applying tint you do. Mostly just get it in, make sure it's in there. If you're not confident with the knife, you can cut this beforehand. But I do this a lot, so I'm confident with my knife abilities. Just get it in there. When it comes to these round edges, you can just leave a little relief cut there and there. This top part technically doesn't have to be there, but I just leave it because of that top edge. Just the way I install it helps me. And I use the thicker tape because it allows me to wrap it around the outside. I found when I use a thinner tape than this one, a lot of times the water itself will lift it up. The reason also I use rinseless wash on this is because it doesn't leave anything on the surface like that old Armor All stuff does. You don't want anything here, otherwise your tape is not going to stick. If you find your tape is having a hard time sticking, you can use something like a water and isopropyl alcohol mix and just go over it and then your tape will stick. And then I'll just do the same thing on the other side quick. Oh, tape's sticking to me. This tape I'm using, this is just CarPro tape. It's cheap. It does exactly what I need it to, so I don't need anything more than this, but a lot of people are using like packing tape, stuff like that you can buy at Lowe's or wherever. I just use this because it's cheap, but if you have a specific tape you use and that works good for you, then just use that one. The nice thing with this too is it doesn't leave any residue. I also use this if I'm polishing just to mask off some trim if I need to. I know you can't really see this one, but I'm doing just the same thing I just showed you on the outside. All right, so I'm a little wide here. I'm gonna try to do this so you can see more of the window and less of me. So once we're at this stage, we just need to roll this window back up. So as this coming up, one of the major parts of any of these side windows is this edge. This edge carries a lot of dirt. So the first thing I like to do just to get in the habit of is immediately, I'm gonna get that wet. I'm gonna grab my scrubby and I'm gonna get both sides about a ½ an inch, give or take. And you're just gonna scrub this top edge very well. Anything, especially gravel roads, stuff like that, a lot of dirt is gonna get trapped here. As you can see, that's just from a couple swipes. I'm gonna go back to my rag here and just clean this a little bit more before we go up the rest of the way. So now I'll just switch this off because that's annoying. All right, so next step, you're gonna wanna do this whether you have fuzzy seals or not. As long as you tape these, you can still do this. Basically, we're gonna flush these seals out. If there's any residual dirt, we wanna push it down. I use a sprayer. You can still do this with a spray bottle. You just might have to use a bit more water. And you don't technically have to use a hard card for this, but I do anyway just because I like to get really in there. Mostly, I'll just jam it in there and just spray directly into that seal. As long as you tape this, none of that's gonna come back this way because it's not gonna stick on the seal. I went over the felt, so it's all gonna push in exactly how I want it. Same thing on this side. If you have rubber seals, I like to do this anyway because sometimes, especially I believe like a Volkswagen GTI has very deep seals, so you need to get water back there, otherwise your tint is gonna catch. Basically just flush it down, then you're good. On most newer vehicles, the usual thing obviously, get your scrubby, scrub the window, do your thing. This is a relatively new vehicle. I don't like to use these if I don't have to. A lot of newer vehicles come with some coatings on the inside of the glass. You can use a clay bar. You just have to be careful you get all the residue because clay bar will stick to your glue and be impossible to get out. I just like to use these Costco microfibers. And I'm just gonna go over this. Make sure if you bottom load, watch your fingers here because there's usually sharp little edges there that will cut you. So just be careful about it. Go over this. This is also where if you notice any extra dirt, you can just clean it up a little bit. You'll see on your rag right away if you did catch a few spots, which is no big deal. Usually I'll give it that first initial wipe. And then when I'm getting to prep, I'm not gonna show you applying the tint because that's a different thing. Mostly this is contamination, so I'm just gonna go through the prep here. I'll give another shot on the sides, another shot there. And assuming I'm going to apply tint right after this, this is where I'll get into my cleaning mode. Now, you only really have to do this as much as you're comfortable with. I like to go over with the squeegee 3 times. And for this one, I'm using a softer pink squeegee because I find it gets the water off better, and I don't like to clean with the same squeegee I install with. So that's 1 pass. And then get in the habit of spraying downward too. That way if there is any dirt, you'll spray it down instead of up into anything else. So this is 2 passes. On the second pass, I also like to clean that seal out. And I'll also take the less fluffy side of my microfiber. And I'm not gonna touch the glass here. I'm just wiping this tape down, this top edge, not where the fluff is though, don't hit that. And I'm just wiping down. That way if any dirt stuck to the side, it's gone now. And then I'll do 1 more pass. So with this pass, that's where I would go. I'm good to go to install there. So normally I'll turn this back on again, just blow this down. Now because I bottom load, I only have the window stick out about that much. If you do a 2-stage, it's the same idea, just enough so you can do it. But now, because we're ready to go, it'd be the same thing. I will wipe this top edge again, just because I had it tucked up under the seal. As you can see, there's still more dirt in it. You can wipe until you get it as clean as you want, but some of these edges are just always dirty, so you're only going to get so far. But I did the bottom part of the window, and now it's the exact same thing. Do my 3 passes in the upper part of the window. I'm going to do 2 just for demonstrative purposes, but you'll want to do it 3 times as you get better and you're more confident in what you're doing. You can get away with doing 1 because you're going to kind of know your style. This is aimed more at beginners, so it's better to do a little bit too much than it is a little bit not enough, because too much is easy to dial back. Not enough is harder to get into. So at this point, everything is good. We've wiped everything down. This is where I would come and throw my tint on the window. So I'm going to do that off camera, and then I'll be back to see if there's any contamination, and we can cover what to do there. All right, so as you can see, tint is now on the window. Before you remove this tape, in case you need to redo your window, we're going to inspect everything to see what it's good. So you're going to need 2 tools for this. A lot of people will use the pink chiseler. I do like these. They tend to get sharp edges every now and then. Another trick is to go to the dollar store and buy like 100 popsicle sticks for $1.50. These work really great, and they don't allow you to use too much pressure because they will snap. So mostly what you're looking for is you're going to look through your window from both sides. Now, you got to get different angles here and there. There is a little speck right there. Now, don't let anyone ever tell you otherwise. There is some very, very good tinters out there that do very, very good work. There is 0 chance everything they do is perfect, because it's not possible. There's airborne contaminants falling from the roof, dust from your air conditioner. There's too many variables. So there is no such thing as perfect tint. Any quality tinter will be able to point stuff out. It just is what it is. What you need to do is look through the eye of the consumer. The benefit with window tint is if you have a little speck like right there, if you get the water out, the speck will stay, but there won't get a little air gap. The air gap is what people see and say, oh, my tint is dirty. Now, obviously, if you have a lot of dirt, you're going to see it. That's not good. You need to replace that. If you have 1 or 2 specks, that's totally normal. It's just how you deal with them that sets you apart. You look through tint. You don't look at it. So odds are, if there's no water gap, people won't see it. So this is 5% window tint. So this is pretty dark. It's a little better at hiding stuff anyway. If you can't see any specks, you can always hide. Now, obviously, you need to know the outside of the window too. If the outside of the window is dirty, it's going to mess you up a little bit. But if you're using a popsicle stick, the way you want to use this, I'll show you here, is when you get a speck, you want to pull the water out. You're just going to put light pressure on it and drag it. You don't want to push, because if you push, that edge can ruffle your tint, especially if it's not down, if there's a bit of moisture there. But if you drag it over, it'll pull that water out. So normally, depending on the size, if you go to the other side of the glass, you can use a torch for this, you can use a heat gun, it doesn't matter. Heat up the area a little bit just so it's warm. It doesn't want to be hot. You don't need it to be hot for this. But then you will find your little speck. Where the hell did it go? It's here somewhere. You can always use a flashlight for this too. I just need to switch sides quick. There we go. So when you have your little speck, just put your toothpick on it, and you'll just slide down just a little bit. Just pull the water out. So the speck is still going to be there. Unless you pull that tint back, the speck is going to stay. If you can get the water bubble out to where you can't see it from the other side unless you look directly at it with a trained eye, it's fine. No customer is ever going to see it. You can come from the other side if you need to and do it from this way, because you'll see a little white dot. If doing this, it disappears, then you got the water out, you're fine. It also allows you to look through the rest of the window. If you're not sure it's on the inside or outside, it's harder to do this with 5% because this is really dark. But if you have something on the inside with your toothpick, for instance, and you hold it, there's a little tiny gap. If it's on the outside of the glass, you'll see space between the dot and the toothpick or the popsicle stick. If you see that, it's on the outside of the glass and you don't have to worry about it. So I'm just double and triple checking here. I might have one more right there. There is, in some instances, you'll get what's called like a working mark or a handling mark, which is just maybe you're a bit rough in the glue caught. That usually almost always goes away. You're mostly just looking for little specks. The most common places where you're going to notice more debris is in this top corner, especially with fuzzy seals, and possibly this front edge, especially if you bottom load, because that's going to be where you drive it in. If you two-stage it, it's going to be wherever you crease it, especially if you spray up, because if you have any dirt there, you're going to spray it up into your tint. Instead, you want to kind of spray at an angle to flush it out one direction. I find bottom loading easier for me personally, especially with a lot of the vehicles I do. Some it's really hard. Volkswagen GTI, like my car, the front door especially is so small and those seals are so deep. Two-staging is quite difficult. Something like a Subaru though, super easy to two-stage because they have like next to no seals on the front doors. Their rear quarter glass though, huge pain in the butt. So this one, for the most part, looks good. So now at this point, we got our tape. Window's good. This is where we'll roll it back down a little bit. You don't need to go down all the way. It also gives you a chance to inspect your top edge. If you're not sure, this one they didn't want to do any shaving or filing. So there is a teeny tiny bit of a gap, but nothing major. If you're new, it's always good practice to just wrap a hard card in some paper towel and just push up on that top edge. Also, if you have the propane torch, you can use the propane torch method where you just flash heat the top edge and that'll get it to stick there. Now to get this tape off, pretty simple. All I do is grab from the top and you're gonna pull out away from the film towards you. So just watch your edge because you don't want to pull any of the tint up, and as soon as it starts, it just pulls right off because now it's wet, it's going to come off easy. Same thing on this side, just start it, then fold it over and just pull away. Then we're just going to clean this up real quick. And we'll just roll our window back up. And now you're good. Tint is on, nice and clean. I had like 2 little specks in it, but pushed them out with a popsicle stick. This pretty much translates to anything you're putting tint on. Some rear quarter glasses are a little bit more difficult if they don't have any seal and you need to take the glass out or do some tricks to lift the seal up so you can tuck tint under it. The rear glass on this one for the hatch, a lot of it is the same. Just make sure all of your plastic is really good. If you're bottom loading, you're starting at the top anyway, so just get the top edge in because that's where a lot of your dirt is going to come from. On a hatch, actually, now that I think of it, one thing you never want to do is spray water up into the top of the hatch. Basically, spray here down and clean, but never spray up. Especially, this is a country gravel road vehicle. If I spray up into that plastic trim, insane amounts of dirt are going to come out of there, guaranteed. This will be old vehicles, classic vehicles, stuff like that. There's so much dirt in there, you're never going to get rid of it all. Instead, spray from that top seal down, clean it with your rag, scrubby it if you need to, just don't spray into the panel. And when you're going to put it on, leave about a ½ an inch dry at the top, and then when you get your tint wet, it'll be wet enough that you can get it in place and not worry about it without all of that dirt coming down. Then it's just a matter of going around the sides. The sides you can still flush out if you need to. The bottom you can still flush out if you need to, just not that top edge. Outside of that, this covers a side window. I've already done the rear window on this one before I seen your comment to make this video for you. So on the next one, if I get another hatch or a truck, for instance, I'll go over it again just to show you some different stuff that applies to those specific scenarios. If you like this one, let me know in the comments if there's something specific you want to see as a beginner. I'm trying to cover everything, so if I see a suggestion, I'll try to get on it.